spinal flow work? Well, what we are doing is accessing areas of ease along the spine with each of these, what we call access points. And we are bringing your body's attention, and specifically your nervous system's attention, to that area. And what this does, it is allow reorganization of the nervous system. Now, why is this important? Here's why. So, nerve flow is as essential to life as blood flow. We are not merely matter. We are both matter and energy. And life only exists in the seamless transition between matter and energy. This is so often why people wind up in a disease state or wind up with symptoms, and even in the absence of disease, they just don't feel well. Like if you're watching this, chances are high you have experienced this, or you are currently in this state where you just feel like you keep battling one symptom after another, and it's like you can never get ahead or never get a leg up in wellness. Never really quite. It's almost like every time you reach for it, every time you feel you're almost there, it keeps slipping through your fingers, and either something else pops up symptom-wise, or you wind up kind of relapsing and experiencing some of the same symptoms that you've been struggling with for a while now. And I know this feeling all too well, because I feel like this has been my life. And really, when I found Spinal Flow, I found the thing that I was seeking, like the thing that was different. And I've kind of fallen down a rabbit hole because of the transformation I've seen in my own health and in every other aspect of life. And this is why. Like, I was already well on my way to this journey, even before finding Spinal Flow, because of the symptoms I was experiencing and because of where it led, and figuring out that the missing piece to all of this is how well we really are able to convert energy into matter. Now, why does this matter from a nervous system viewpoint? Well, really, nervous system is that energy. And once again, every tissue, every cell of your body relies on nerve impulse to know what to do, to know what it needs to do, how it needs to react in any given moment, to know how to express itself, how to express the genes that are inside it, how to convert the food into the energy. Like, which pathway is it going to follow? Is it going to follow an inflammatory pathway? Is the body in need of cytokines or some kind of response to something like a bacteria or a virus? Or is it more an anti-inflammatory state? Is it going to convert that food into anti-inflammatory compounds? Like, which path is it going to follow? And all of this gets into, like, all of this is studied to no end, the pathology of disease. And what if we just keep asking, what's ahead of it in this whole stream? Because what we're seeing, we're focused so much on the downstream effects. What if we just focus on the upstream? What if we focus on nervous system health, nervous system regulation? And if it sounds like this is too simple, this is too simplistic a view of health and wellness, here's the thing. You weren't made to be sick. You weren't made to live a life where you feel unwell. Health is your birthright. So why would it not be simple? Why would it not be easy to fix the upstream piece of this? Why would it not be as simple as just focusing in on that nervous system health and healing? And what I found is that is a huge piece. And I actually have a disease state. Like, I am at a stage where my body has been attacking my thyroid gland for long enough that it's destroyed enough of it that I need to supplement with thyroid hormone. I actually have a diagnosable disease. But that's not to say that this focus on nervous system health and re-regulating and reorganizing my nervous system through the use of spinal flow has not made a profound impact on the symptoms I'm experiencing and on the degree of those symptoms, how bad those symptoms are when they show up. And so this is my invitation to you. If you've seen, if you've seen ads before, if you've seen people talk about nervous system regulation before, and you think this is just another tool or another aid, here's the thing. Spinal flow is a whole nother thing. It's not just another tool like meditation. It's not even like acupuncture. I mean, I had tried all of the things. I've done acupuncture, I've done Reiki, I've done sound healing, I've done myofascial release, I've done myofunctional therapy, like fill in the blank. I exhausted the pathways of work with Ayurvedic practitioners, traditional Chinese medicine practitioners, functional medicine doctors. I was at my wit's end, and this is where I found relief. I know this is possible for you too. I have felt this in my own body. I've seen what it does. Like, this is why I was decided to become certified in Spinal Flow, because I saw what it would. I experienced the impact it had on me, and I knew I wanted to offer this to others. There aren't enough Spinal Flow practitioners in the world. I wanted to be one of them. And basically, what this does is this is the key that you have been missing all along. This is almost like, it's almost as though, imagine your body has dammed up, built a dam. Spinal flow is the thing that is going to break that dam. And when that dam breaks, what it allows is the flow of energy through our nervous system to actually reach these tissues and these organs that have been starved of this nerve energy for a really long time, because these walls were in place, because this dam was in place. They have not received that nourishing flow from the river that is energy, this energetic river we have flowing through us that keeps us animated, keeps us like, it's why we are alive, right? Otherwise we would just be bodies piled up, right? Like, there is an energetic component to life. And as soon as you begin breaking that dam, it allows all of these other modalities to work. Because all of a sudden, you have energy available to you for acupuncture to work, for energy to start pooling into these soul wells as the acupuncturists activate the acupuncture points on your body. You have energy available and actually moving and flowing for Reiki to work better. You have it available and flowing so that meditation works better. Like everything just works better when you start to remove that dam, which you do through spinal flow. Now, how is this possible? Well, spinal flow actually sees the spine as the back of the mind. And what this means is anytime in your life when you have ever had like anything that you weren't able to process real time, and here, like the thing that probably jumps to your mind first, if you're like me, is like, oh, you mean like a major emotional, and I don't particularly like the word trauma, so I'm just going to say stress. You know, the loss of a loved one, something unexpected, the loss of a job, like just these things that shock our systems. And we don't allow ourselves, even, I mean, it could even be like caretaking. It could even be like feeling overwhelmed for a day, for a week, for a season of life, whatever it might be, where you feel like you have no support. And in that time, because the body can't process that, it actually gets stored in our systems and it gets stored along our spine. And this is one of the most interesting things about spinal flow. Actually, through feeling along the spine, it's possible to tell where you've been storing all of this pent-up emotion that you weren't able to experience real time, that your body wasn't able to process as it needed to in that moment. Now, food stress is another one. So a lot of us, in the way I see it, is emotion or physical. So to give you an example of physical trauma or physical stress, the birth experience. Maybe the umbilical was wrapped around your neck. Maybe there was use of forceps. Maybe there was a breech birth. So you had to be turned or twisted or just like that during the birthing process, or emergency C-section, or whatever it might be that introduced some kind of physical trauma to the spine. Or maybe you were involved in a car accident and you had whiplash, fell off a horse and didn't perceive that as whiplash, but still it was a definite impact that kind of jolted the system. A lot of times those types of physical stress get stored along the spine as well. Now, my theory is that physical or emotional stress is kind of that tree that fell across the dam first, or fell across the river first. So if we imagine nerve flow up and down the spine as a river, and once again, from the brain all the way down the spinal column, and then we've got nerves exiting between every single vertebra of our spine. There's an open space for nerves to exit and feed and nourish the tissues and organs in that region of the body. If we imagine that a physical or emotional stress was the first log that fell across that river and it started blocking flow, then it's a lot easier to see how when we eat, so when we overeat or we eat something that we're a little bit sensitive to and the body can't process real time, and it starts to lodge there and build on top of these physical and emotional stresses. So my theory is that chemical stress is not ever the first thing that's lodged within our systems. It's either physical or emotional, and then this serves as that tree down for chemical stress to start layering on top of. And during a spinal flow session, what we're doing from a scientific standpoint is actually increasing the flow of cerebrospinal fluid up and down the spine. What this does is it starts to help dislodge this junk that we've been holding on to. It starts to dislodge these layers. Now, where do these layers go? Well, the CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid, actually flows back into the lymphatic system. The body turns over lymph day in and day out, all day, every day. This is why you're often told at the end of a spinal flow session, be sure you drink lots of water. Be sure you get some movement in, because movement helps move lymph. Water, like the lymph contains a lot of water. It's a huge fluid volume in your body. The more water you drink, the thinner you make that lymph, and the better able you are to get it out of the body, help the body to process it and actually get it out of the system, because the lymph ultimately turns over, gets removed from your cleansing organs, your liver, your kidneys, and is excreted in the body. Now, let's see. Is there anything else to say about spinal flow for this video? I will say this. it's been studied and documented that the flow of CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, is higher in children than it is adults. And it's higher in adults than it is as we start to age. So the older we get, the less flow we have of the CSF. And it's also been documented that cerebrospinal fluid flow is altered in a number of disease states. So this has been studied in autism, it's been studied in ADHD, it's been studied in a variety of other diseases as well. Okay, I think that's all to say for this video. I will catch you in the next one. Until next time, bye.